What is the meaning of life? I still get asked this question quite a lot by fresh ex-Muslims. I know it's just a start, and with time they get over the sadness that comes with losing the big brother in the sky. I tried to address this before in one of my earlier videos titled A Letter to Hope, but seems like it's not enough, as I may not necessarily have addressed all the points. I'm glad the video helped Hope and a few other people a great deal, but the job is not done yet. Different people react differently. I personally feel responsible for those Muslims who lose their faith because of my work. Hence, it's important for me to keep addressing these issues. I have struggled to understand why some atheists feel depressed after losing their imaginary friend, as it never occurred to me personally. When I lost my belief in God, I found it extremely liberating that now my morality could evolve with better reasoning, but some ex-Muslims struggle with that. One of my followers who lost Islam recently said it on quite a few occasions that he's struggling to understand the meaning of life, and it depresses him. He admitted that it's not the fact that there is no God, but it's the fact that there is no purpose. Having an afterlife and treating this life as some sort of a divine test for an eventual goal of a heaven seems meaningful enough. I said you can find any purpose you want. Life is an unasked gift. None of us asked to be born. We are somewhat lucky that we're born today and we're born as humans. We could easily have been born in the time of Romans as a slave. We could easily have been born as a sheep or a cow that gets slaughtered to satisfy someone's hunger. Or we could have been born as a circus lion or as a deer that gets eaten by a cheetah on its first day of life. It's an accident that we're born as humans, but now we're born. What do we do? He said life is useless as it has no benefit. Really? Is it really useless and non-beneficial just because we don't get an afterlife? Is happiness not the ultimate benefit of being alive? Had we not been born, would we have known how good it feels to laugh on a meaningless joke with your best friend when you catch up with him? Or how it feels to kiss the love of your life for the first time? Would we have known that melting heart feeling when we look at our cute puppy or a kitten when it looks at you with those big eyes asking for food? We would not have known any of these feelings and a million other feelings had we never been born. All these feelings are feel-good emotions, and I fail to understand how any of these feelings are not benefits of life. Of course, with happiness comes sadness. With good comes evil. Life is tough. It comes with a lot of baggage, and that baggage gets significantly heavier with religion. But let's just focus on the baggage of life in an atheist life. We do get sad when our loved one dies and all we have left are their memories. We do get sad when we see a helpless animal being butchered against his will just so it can end up on someone's dinner table. Or when we see the suffering of millions of children around the world whose bellies are swollen from starvation. Or when our friends betray us. We do get sad when we lose the love of our lives to some illness or some other person. All these things happen and we feel helpless in doing anything about them. But that's just an illusion. I see no greater benefit of life than being alive and being able to do something about these things. You can find a million purposes of your life. Sure, we don't always succeed, but any step towards any purpose in life is a success within itself. If this is still not convincing enough for you, then let me ask you a question. What would be your purpose of life in the afterlife? If in this life your goal is to secure a hot spot in the heaven, then that is some purpose. But once you're in heaven, what would be your purpose? Would you just be enjoying delicious foods, drinks, enviable sex with beautiful men or women? Or an occasional cup of coffee with your favorite prophet like Jesus or Moses or Muhammad? What after that? What else would be your purpose? Would you be happy doing that for the billions of years to come? Surely you'll get bored of that, and all your favorite personalities from history would also get bored of you too. At least in this imperfect world, we can find a lot of purposes to try to make this world a little better than before. But by definition, heaven is perfect. What would you strive for? If by some sheer accident I end up in heaven, I think I will try to find a new purpose there. I might lead a protest in front of the palace of Allah and demand Allah to release more and more people from his torture cells in the hell. I'm not sure how this cosmic dictator would handle these protests, so let's not fool ourselves and fantasize about silly things. The concept of heaven is selfish. We are told that the good people will be in heaven and bad people will be in hell. The good people will enjoy the luxuries of heaven, but will be unable to do anything about the people in the hell. So these good people will either be helpless in doing anything for the people in hell, or simply wouldn't care. Both the thoughts are terribly selfish and are devoid of any meaningful purpose. Would you be happy knowing that some of your friends, family, loved ones are being tortured for eternity in a terrible place at the hands of this evil monster? I don't think I would want to live in that heaven. The whole concept is silly and reeks of ancient men's dodgy sales tactics. If the criterion of purpose of life is an afterlife, then it means there will be no purpose in the afterlife, as there will be no afterlife after the afterlife. So you can agree that there would be no purpose in heaven. So my question to you is, if you are happy to live in an afterlife with no purpose, then why can't you live in this life with no purpose? Lucky for us, that is not even the case in this life. Unlike heaven, there are plenty of purposes in this life. You can make a little donation to a charity that helps feed starving children, or you can become a volunteer in a sanctuary that helps reduce animal suffering. You can walk up to a girl or a boy you like and tell them how much you care about them, or pick up the phone and call an upset friend that how much you miss him after things went south and would want him or her back in your life. You can start a course that will help you become a nurse or a psychologist or a doctor or a lawyer or anything that you feel passionate about. You can do all of this, which can help not just you, but a lot of other living beings on this planet. Hell, you can even start volunteering in the organization that are trying to protect the planet for our future generations. The possibilities are endless. The purposes are endless. There is so much in our world that can use a helping hand that you can give, and in the process, find a purpose and enjoy the benefits of life.